Hello everyone. In this video we'll learn how to create ASCII Text Banner using a tool called Figlet on Windows. Now many of my videos starts with ASCII Text Banner, something like this, and over the years number of people have asked me how did I create these banners in Notepad++ or any other text editor. And so I'm going to show you 3 different ways in which you can create these ASCII text banners. But why do you need these ASCII banners? Well, first of all, it gives you a nice and clear, title view. If you have a really large code base and if you are browsing through the code, these kind of titles gives you an easy way to look where things are. And it also comes handy when you're just quickly, scrolling through it. For example, here is a header file, and I just added some ASCII header, and it just gives a nice clean feel, and you can quickly go to and browse through your data. So it's more of a personal choice, but I believe if you are a hardcore programmer, it really gives a nice feel to your code. It's just nice touch. And so we are going to take a look at 3 different ways in which we can create these ASCII text banners. The first one is an online one. Basically, there's a website. There are plenty of websites, but I'm going to recommend one of them where you can just go type your text and it'll convert those into ASCII text. But if you're a programmer, I mean, what's fun in that, right? You don't want to browse to a website every time you want to create these. And so we will also look at the other way to create these ASCII text map using a tool called Cygwin, which is basically a Linux environment on Windows. We'll go through more detail a little later. We'll also use another tool called Figlet generator. It's a small and executable, and that can also you install it on your computer, so it gets easier to just simply create these ASCII text and then copy and paste. We will also learn how you can actually use these Figlet tool to create text banners right from Notepad++ or any other text editor. And so you don't have to leave your text editor. You should be able to just call this tool in the background and just get the ASCII map. We'll also learn how we can customize these fonts. It's different from the fonts that we use on Windows, and we will go into more detail also. So let's get started. Alright, so the very first way in which you can create these ASCII text banners or figlets is just an online method. So I have these link of a web page, and I'm also going to share that, by the way, on in the description below, so make sure that you check those. And here is that website. Okay, and so all you need to do is just enter your text here, and then it will automatically convert it the ASCII map. So for example, let's say, right, so now that it's converted to a figlet, I can just double click on this anywhere or press Ctrl+A, and then I can copy this, and then I can paste it in my Notepad++, right? So it is as simple as just copy and pasting. Now there are a number of fonts, as I mentioned earlier, in Figlet. Those are different from Windows font, and those are, I believe, called Figlet fonts itself, and there are numerous of these. So depending upon your preference, you can actually change it, and you can see it uses an ASCII text to create these different fonts, right? And so you can go through that. In fact, if you select one of these and then you just scroll down using up or down arrow key, you can see that it is creating these figlets for whatever text you want, right? So it's pretty cool. There are some really cool ones out there, but again, you can try and pick the one that you like. For the most part, I like this big one, which is very clear and concise. One thing you would also notice is if you use something that are really big, for example, something like this. If I copy this and bring it in Notepad++, see, it takes a lot of width, and so while it looks cool, but when you're actually looking at your code, which is about 80 to 100 100 width column width, this really nice one may not look as good because it'll be just too big. And so that's why I've tried a number of different fonts, and I feel like big, or there's another called Doom, I believe, is a pretty good one. There are also small one that if you don't like a really big one, then you can make it much smaller also, and so on. This will also allow you to add multiple lines. So for example, here is how to use it, and you can see it is creating these ASCII text banners automatically. They have some basic settings here, so if you for the most part default should be good enough, but if you want to try, you can see it just changes a little bit of how it fits these texts, so fitted, and then and so on. So again, I keep the defaults on and then just use this. Sometimes you may want to, like right here, it was just too close to each other. I could have done something like this. Well, it doesn't do so. I think I would set it to full, and then it gives a good space, right? So that is the first way to do it. Just going to the website and then enter your text, and then once you get it, you just copy it and then you paste it in your text editor. Okay, so again, as I said, it's an easy way to do it, but it'll be fun to create this Figlet tool on your own, right, on your Windows system. And so the next method is a Cygwin. So in order to do that, you will have to install Cygwin. Now Cygwin is just more than just a Figlet tool. Cygwin is actually an entire package or collection of many useful utilities that are found on Linux that you can bring it on Windows. So it is actually really powerful. There are some really neat command line utilities in Cygwin. But for us, we just want to focus on Figlet. So basically search for Cygwin and then downloads, go to install, and usually there is an exe right here, so I'm going to click on that, and it will basically download that. So I'm going to install that and go next. Now basically Cygwin allows you to download it from the internet, or you can put the entire package of these different libraries into your local directory. So I'm going to keep it as it is, install from internet, and this is the location where it's going to install. So C, tools, and Cygwin, so I think that's fine. And then that will be the local package directory. Yep. Go next, and it will basically download and install. So it will take some time to install, but once you have that, you need to install a package called Figlet. Okay, so let's search. Okay, and then let's go here and go to full, and yep, search. So it just showed up right here. Now currently it's not installed. I would agree that some of the interface is little hard to understand, but basically what it is saying is it is able to find the package Figlet, but it's not going to install it yet. So it's set to skip. So I'll go to click here, and then I'll select whatever the version is available. Okay, and go next, and now it's going to say, do you want to install Figlet? Yes. So it'll go and it will basically install Figlet in your Cygwin setup or Cygwin installation, right? So go and click finish. Now let me go to a start menu, and let me just search for Cygwin, and right here it says Cygwin 64 terminal. So that is the terminal or a command line window that Cygwin installs. So let's click on that, and then let's try if we can actually do Figlet. So Figlet, and then let's type Cygwin. Okay. And you can see it is able to create a ASCII text editor, text banners using just a simple command called Figlet. Let's make it a little bigger. Okay. All right. So it's just a command line way of getting whatever text you want. So if I can say Figlet, YouTube. Oops. Oh, it's Figlet, YouTube, right? And you can see now you can easily just copy this and then put it into your text file. right? So it is very easy to copy and paste these. Now, a little later, I'll mention about the fonts, but we already know some of the fonts that we have used in the past, right? If you remember, there was a font called Small or Doom. So if you want to change the fonts in Figlet from Cygwin, you can do that as well. So in order to do that, you need to type Figlet, then -F, which means fonts, and then the name of the font. So let's do Small, and then you basically give your text. So YouTube. And you can see it is a little different from what it was before. This was, I think, default probably will be big or something. So let's try another one. So I'll say Figlet function F, and I'll call it Slant. There's another font called Slant. And let's try YouTube. And you can see it is slanted, right? And so again, I think the first method that I mentioned, the one which has all kind of, the online version, has all fonts. So once you find the one that you like, probably you can keep using that. So let's pick, there was a tiny one that was really good. Yeah, let's try this soft. Okay, so here I'll do Figlet and then -F for font, and then I call it soft, and then I'll say this is a new font. Okay, so probably this particular font is not installed, so it might not have every font that is available there. So again, maybe you need to install some of these fonts. If you're interested, just add a comment in the comment section, and I'll probably create another video about how to install new fonts in Figlet. But I think for the common part, I think the default itself is pretty good. So if I go here and I just say something like this, you can see it is creating a pretty decent ASCII text banner, right? All right, so we learn how to create it online. We also learn how to create using a Cygwin. There's another tool that actually you can install on your computer, and it's called a Figlet generator tool. Now, if you go to Google and search for Figlet generator, you will find a lot of results. And so the one that I'm actually recommending is under SourceForge. There's a project called Figlet generator. It's a very small tool, but I think it's pretty good. So and you will see why it's better than some of the other ones. And so again, just go to Google search, or I'm going to paste this link in the description also, so make sure you check that. Right, so let's download. Should be downloading pretty soon. Right, and once it's downloaded, we will going to install it. All right, so it is downloaded. Sometimes SourceForge can take a little longer. So once it's installed, once it's downloaded, you can just simply go ahead and install that, and it's pretty simple and straightforward. Just doesn't have much. It's just as simple as just a Figlet generator. So again, this is similar to what we had with the other two method, but here again I can say another way. Another way to generate Figlet. Okay, and then here are those fonts. So let's go to big, and you can see it is creating nice a method as it was before. Okay, you click save, and then you can save that as well. And so, or if you want to copy, just simply copy this. Right. So again, this is another way to create a Figlet very easily, right, from your computer. So you can keep this tool open, and then whenever you need it, you just simply type your text and then get the result out. In fact, it also has an option to load new fonts. And so if you remember when we were trying to do Cygwin, there were some Figlet font that were missing. So you can install those if you need to, and that can also help, right? Okay. Let's go to the more interesting part. Now that I have Figlet installed, is there a way to actually call that right from Notepad++, so that I don't even have to leave Notepad++, and I can simply call Figlet to create a text banners for me? Okay, so let's try that. So in order to create a way to enter the ASCII banners from Notepad++, we will have to create something called a run command. Okay, so if you open Notepad++, there is a run menu here, and we can create a specific run command which will call Figlet, and then it will return the ASCII map. Okay, so the first thing that we need to find out is where is this Figlet install. And so there are different ways to do it. The easiest is if you go to Cygwin and if you type where and Figlet, it will tell you where this Figlet is installed in Cygwin. So you can see it, if you remember when we installed Cygwin, it was under C tool Cygwin, right? So let's copy that, the path for the Figlet. Okay, so let's go here, go to run, click run. We'll paste. In fact, I'm going to paste a text here for anybody to know. So cmd/c, then the whole Figlet, and then we will have $sign. I'm going to explain what I'm doing here. Word. Okay. Clip. Okay. So we are going to enter this run command. So what exactly is this? And so what we are trying to do is we are going to call a command line, which is this cmd/c means. We are going to call this exe, and then Notepad++ has these environment variable that can decide what you want to pass. So you don't want to just pass a fixed character or fixed text here. What we want to pass is whatever you want to select. So for example, in fact, I have selected this in itself, right? But let's say I want to create, if I go here and I want to create a Figlet for this one, so I select these, and so this would be our current word. Okay, and so we are passing a current word, and then this basically it's a pipeline, so it pipes the output and then puts it into Windows clipboard. Okay, so again, open a command line, call Figlet, pass the word that currently I have selected in Notepad++, get the output, take that output and paste it into, not paste, but just put it into your Windows clipboard. Okay, so soon it will start to make sense. So I select this, I say here. Okay, now I'm going to select a text here. Let's go down here. We have main menu, maybe we'll try add data. Okay, and I'm going to click run. Okay, so one thing that is a little tricky here is that particular ASCII map is already saved in your Windows clipboard. So if I go here and Control V or paste it, it actually brings it up. So unfortunately, Notepad++ cannot directly paste all the information that was in the clipboard, and so we just have to paste it manually. So let's try again. So let's say this is a view data, so I want to create an ASCII banner for this particular word. So I go to run, go run again, and then run command always keeps the last command that you ran in here. Okay, so I'm going to click run, and so it's going to put that into a clipboard, and now I go here and you can see I am able to take that and paste it here. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding a comment, so I'm pressing Alt Shift key to select these column, and then I'm just adding a comment there, right? And so this is by far the easiest way to actually create the ASCII map, because you're not using any online tool, you're not using anything else. Right from Notepad++, you can actually create these ASCII banners. So for example, if I want to create something for this one, I go here, go to run again. Now at some point, once you test it 2 or 3 times, once you're ready, you can actually save this, and it will create a menu item here. So if I'm going to click save, and I'm going to call this as create ASCII banner using Figlet. Okay, and you can even create your own keyboard shortcut. And so yeah, let's try this Control Alt Shift, and then we maybe will call it 1. Okay, so Control Alt Shift, and so it's going to create and then copy that into your Windows clipboard, right? So click OK. I'm going to cancel this time. I have selected my text, go to Run. Now you can see it is just right here. So you don't even have to go run, because if you create a new run command, then it'll go away, right? So I click on here. So it is pasted, and I go here, and there you go. So again, if you don't select, then it may not work, right? Because it needs a current word. So again, select this, go here. In fact, this time we are going to try and use our Control Shift Alt and 1, and you saw it flashes out, and there you go. And so we learned many different ways to create these ASCII text banners in Notepad++ in Windows first, and then we also learned how we can easily use our run command to create these banners very easily without leaving your text editor. Now this would work with any other text editor, as long as you can have some capability like run command where you can call other exe, right? And I'm also going to paste this particular path or command that you can use. By the way, if you don't have Notepad++, I'm going to also link the Notepad++ installation link in probably top right corner or something. So please take a look at that. And if you like the content of this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new videos about Notepad++ and many other important and cool programming tips and tricks. So I hope you learned something. If you did, please click on the like button. And yep, thank you very much.